Hey everyone, this is Sabrina. Welcome back to my channel. I am going to be sharing this October daily video, but it might be the last one because I feel like we're all moving on from that project. But the good news is I'll have lots of content for next year, right? So if you would leave me a comment and let me know your thoughts on October daily videos, I would absolutely appreciate that. So for these three stories, I'm going to do a spooky book haul and the 10th of October, and also my daughter scaring me with Oogie Boogie. Very simple pages overall, but I was kind of going in chronological order of when I made these pages. So I feel like they're just simple pages, but they're still important stories that I wanted to tell. So I took a close-up of my library haul and I decided to just fussy cut it out and kind of make it look more three-dimensional and just basically do something different with my photo. And I took some papers from Jennifer's kit, Code Orange, and I tore them. I took orange at the bottom and then the white one with like skulls and bones on it and layered those papers at the bottom, and then tucked in my stack of books. I actually wound up reading, I think, 9 out of 13 books for the month of October were all spooky. So that is really exciting. Best spooky month reading ever. And I'm going to continue some of that for this month. I have this bookshelf stamp from Jennifer's shop, and it's linked in the description box. But I wanted to add a set of bookshelves up at the top since I knew that my title was going to be there. And I'm also going to color it in because I can't resist coloring in my stamps. It's going to look awesome. And again, totally different than I normally do because I don't normally do a giant photo and I don't normally cut it out. So I am drawing a line starting at the bottom of the bookshelf to spell out library hall. And I've mentioned this before, but when I do words like this, I tend to go backwards to the beginning of the word. And so the next word is library, and for me, it's just easier to grab whatever scratch piece of paper I'm using at the moment and write the word on there because I'm not going to remember it backwards while I'm trying to stick these stickers. And I even wrote it this time, as you just saw, and I almost forgot, I think it was an R. I almost forgot an R, but I got it. It's hard to spell things backwards. It's not like innately easy, I guess you could say. So I have library hall, and there's a little space in between hall and where the library ends. So I wanted to kind of fill in that gap. You can see what I mean right here where I'm stamping it. I stamp it in one of my purple inks, and I didn't really like that. I felt like it was too bright. So I went with the lighter colored, not lighter colored, sorry. I went with a darker colored ink, and I went ahead and stamped that. And then I grabbed a bunch of different markers that I thought might work to coordinate with the purple, the orange, and the gray. So definitely a spooky bookshelf of books. I also am working on another full page spread of my spooky books that I read in October for this album. This one was just a small story talking about the particular haul that I got from the library, but I always like to include in my October daily albums a full spread of all the different books that I read, and I'm kind of working on my idea, and I'm so close to finishing October daily. I really just want to finish it before I dive into December daily, but I am very, very excited for December daily. It's my favorite project, and I look forward to it all year long. So I am testing out the markers on my scrap piece of paper and then coloring in a few with a little bit of yellow. Like there was like this yellow marker that I have that actually wound up being more of an orange, which fit perfectly. And I even have a gray, and I grabbed like a neutral tan one. I use that marker for everything. I even used it for the color of the shelf. I also wanted to color in the book that's being held. And I thought, oh, it'd be fun if I colored the hands because you can kind of see the fingers holding the book. I thought if I colored those gray, those would be kind of like a skeleton. But then I colored in the inside portion and I really didn't like how it kind of swallowed up the whole image. I think that's what I was thinking, that I just didn't like that. So that's why I restamped it and decided to not color it in with the tan and just make sure that I emphasize the gray little hands sticking out. Hands, fingers, whatever, you know what I mean. So I cut that out and then I'm going to put that by the word haul. And I think the page is almost done and I'm going to move on to the next page. I just wanted to pop dot that little saying. Oh, I am going to add some stars because Jennifer has stars stamps on her different stamp sets and I love those, and you know that I love scattering type stamps, and so I'm just gonna add a few of those and call it done and then put it in my album. It goes right next to another Code Orange project, which is Leaf Joy, so that worked out perfect. Now the next one I'm gonna work on is 10 on 10. So if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I'm doing a 4x6 mini album project about 10 on 10, where I take 10 photos on the 10th of the month. And I am behind on the videos, I'm behind on the project a little bit, but I'm hoping to catch up soon. For this particular project, I decided to just go ahead and use the photos that I took on the 10th. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I love how the project turned out because I kept it very simple. But I do wish I would have went with, you know, a 10 project where it was like 10 things I love about October or 10 currently things about October, something like that. Because my 10 on 10 for this month, to me, wasn't that exciting because I was at work. But I did capture some photos and I was able to put together a spread. I just honestly wish I would have thought about this and maybe done it just a little bit different instead of just having an ordinary day in there. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being too nitpicky. I don't know. But either way, I have the photos. I think I started at 2x2 in Photoshop Elements, and then I just shrunk them down so that way I had space to include all of them, and also so that way I could stamp the 10 on the far left corner. It adds just the right pop that I wanted to emphasize that this is the theme of 10. Another thing that I kind of struggled with this when I was putting it together, and I'm surprised I didn't like scrap the whole thing, but I had 2 screenshots of music and my audiobook, and they were not fall colors. Like the music was pink and the audiobook was like blue summery colors. So I put them in black and white, but then they wound up being, you know, because I went chronologically, they wound up being on the same side page. So that was a little bit annoying to me because I'm like, each side needs a black and white, but it did not work out that way. So I just have to live with it and keep going. The Stories by the Month Ali Edwards kit came with a wonderful leaf stamp in the kit, and I just love it. So I decided to emphasize the fall colors and the leaves in my photos and just stamp in brown, yellow, and orange, and just a little bit up at the top, and also include a chipboard down on the bottom that says October Delights, and use a few different sticker phrases like adore this season, October magic. And then I'm going to add some journaling. And I decided to extend my journaling across 2 pages. For me, this always feels like a tricky kind of, I don't know what the word is, tricky gamble, tricky decision to write your journaling across 2 pages. But for me, that's what I decided. And I think it works okay for the most part. So I just took my ruler and put it across both pages. And then I'm just going to draw out my lines and document my day, which starts now at 7 o'clock in the morning, getting 3 people ready for school. And that includes breakfasts and lunches and everything that you can think of. There's so many lists of things running in my head. And then in the afternoon, I like to take my lunch break at work and go over to my nature spot, and I read my book or I just play on my phone. And I also tend to like talk on Instagram stories. which is hilarious to me. My school has beautiful leaves, so I took a picture of that, and the Harry Potter movie we were watching, and also some rain fell. So it's just an ordinary, everyday day that I documented in my album, and I kept it very simple and called it done. Lots of really great white space to balance everything out. So that is that page, and now I'm going to move on to the last page, which is just a simple stampy page to document my daughter loving the fact that Oogie Boogie scares me. I guess I should preface by saying Oogie Boogie is fine and creepy, but once he gets in trouble with Jack and Jack like unzips him or unsews him and all the bugs come out, that's the part that just gives me the heebie-jeebies. So I guess I should clarify. But my daughter thinks it's hilarious to play that song over and over and over again, and she just loves the fact that I'm scared of Oogie Boogie. So I found this image online, and I decided to create a pop-up with some accordion folded pieces of paper. I started out with one piece of paper down towards the bottom of the body of the image, and then decided I would need a second one up towards the top, kind of where our shoulders are. And so I'll need to accordion fold that one and then add it down to the paper. And it works pretty well for a fun little pop-up. And then the next thing that I'll do is I'll stamp a really fun long title using my new Carrie Bradford stamp set called Stanley. So I really love how this album this year was more of like little stories about the season, and it's coming along really nicely. I have stories about my daughter decorating the lawn, watching Haunted Mansion with my husband, getting to eat junk food on Friday night, the different shows that we watched, a really fun old cartoon called Skeleton Dance, and my kids playing Harry Potter. So I'm getting lots of great stories for October. It's just I didn't get a lot of chance. That doesn't make sense. A lot of time to share with you all the process videos, but I'll have a bunch of those for next year. So that's an awesome thing, right? So I'm going to stamp "Oh, the Joy of Scaring Mom." And I just used a pencil to kind of guide me, make sure I don't stamp too wonky. And so I'm going to use that ruler as my tool because I just love it. I also love how Carrie includes a lot of double letters in her stamp sets, like TH, and there's like LL and SS, I think, and I just love that. I feel like that is really awesome that she does that. So helpful. And I decided to do joy and scaring in a different green ink. I think I wound up using my brightest ink color, which was like mowed lawn or something like that, but it paired really well with the Oogie Boogie. And I'm also going to add some more stamping to just make it even more creepy. Like I can't look at Oogie Boogie for that long without just like being totally creeped out. So he kind of scares me, but I love The Nightmare Before Christmas. I love it. What is your guys' favorite movie for Halloween or October? I would love to know if you want to share in the comment section. So for Mom, I'm going to put 2 exclamation points, one in black and one in green. And I'm going to grab a spider stamp and also my spider web stamp and go ahead and use those to kind of decorate the page. I didn't have any bug stamps, so spider will just have to work, and I think that's just as creepy. I use my sand eraser to kind of erase the lines, and that way nobody can see my lines. So I use that same mowed lawn ink to stamp all over some bugs trailing all over the page. And then I have a really old wood block stamp that is a spider web, and I love it. And so I'm going to use kind of a warm gray ink to stamp some spider webs all over the place and call that done. And it is a fantastic, fun little stampy page. I probably should add a story to it at some point or journaling, but I can do that another time. It's just fun to have that little stampy page in there. And so now that I'm done, I can put it in my album, and the next little video is just showing you all the different pages, and of course you'll see sneak peeks of the other pages. So as you can see, the first page that we put together was the library haul. followed by 10 on 10, and the last one was a stampy page of Oogie Boogie. So I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing all of these pages come together. I would love a thumbs up or a subscribe if you are new to my channel. Have a great day. Bye.